Alright guys, welcome back to another how-to repair video for you. Today we're going to be putting shocks on the rear end of the 85 Chevrolet Celebrity. Shocks are completely wore out, they're shot, there's nothing left of them. Basically the best way to check to see if your shocks or anything is bad is to how to tell if your shocks are bad. Now this side I've already done. There is two 13 millimeters and one 14 in the middle. Inside up here, you have to go through the trunk, through the back end. Lift up the trunk, go through the back end. Underneath here, which is on the opposite side, the side we're going to be on replacing, there is a little boot that you remove. It's a dummy cover boot. Remove that. There is one 13, and on the opposite side behind it, there's another 13. Remove those two bolts. The whole strut shock will drop down. Then you go underneath. Okay, now down here, you've got a 14, if I believe, 14 millimeter nut, and then you've got a 15 on the back. Actually, they're both 15s. 15 here and a 15 there. Once you take those off, take the whole bolt out, the whole shock strut will come out. And we're about to do that right now. So let's go ahead and get the tools together and I'll show you what we got to do. Alright guys, so here's the tools you're going to need. Here's the parts and everything. This is the old strut, this is the new strut. I've already done one side like I said. I'm not going to show you both sides in this video because really and truly it's the same thing on either side. So tools you're going to need is a 15 millimeter ratchet. Doesn't have to be a wrenching ratchet because I'm not going to be using this end on this. A ratchet and an extension ratchet, a 13 millimeter, a 15, and a 14 millimeter socket. You're going to need a deep weld 14. The 15 is a regular 15 and a 13. Part number, I paid $15 for it all. As you can see right there, part number is 81517. I got two of these for 15 bucks. So let's go ahead and go to the car and start ratcheting and tearing this thing apart and get the new shock in there. Okay, so first thing you want to do is jack up the vehicle, get the tire and rim off of it. Set it up on jack stands like I've got it. Make sure you take the jack, place it underneath the frame or the rear axle, just in case you're doing a rear wheel drive vehicle. Put it underneath the axle differential, just like I've got it, and jack it up. Make sure there is some pressure on it, because when you release and undo the bolts and everything from the top, the whole thing is going to drop down. And you don't want that spring right there, coil spring coming out. It's got an extremely lot of tension on it. That comes out, that could do some serious damage and injury to your life. So I recommend using a jack to make sure it stays up. So let's go ahead and start wrenching. Alright. One nut. There's two. Whole thing should drop down. It's loose now, so let's go underneath and unloosen everything else. Okay, basically guys, this is the way you're going to do it. You're going to take a wrench and put it here on the nut. Make sure it don't move. I've got it kind of braced against the sway bar, and basically loosen it from here. Once this loosens out, then we're going to take the whole shock and everything out. It is really hard to record and work at the same time. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Okay, now after fussing and a little bit of swearing and going on, you finally get it loose. Take the nut and bolt out. The threads are fine. I will put some anti-seize on these threads just to make sure that everything's good on that. The whole shock should come out in my hand now. There it goes. Comes out. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take the 15mm nut right here, take that out. And we're going to take this whole thing off. I'm going to transfer it to the new shock. Okay. Now I will say I did mess up. It is actually a 14 that takes this off. So it's really tight. Hopefully it really snaps itself off here. Hopefully it don't break anything. There it comes. That's pretty much it. Take the nut out. Whole thing comes off. You can see it used to be red. Same thing I'm replacing. Take your new shock. Put it on. Slide it on. Now this nut we're not going to reuse because the thread pitch I believe is different on this one. So get your kit out that came with the new strut, and we're going to put that new nut on. Okay, hopefully my camera doesn't fall on my phone. So here's your kit that you get in each strut package. It comes with a whole kit and instructions, bushings, and everything. Well, if you read the instructions, which we'll go ahead and get that out, it actually tells you inside that we're not going to be using the bushings or anything else except for the nut, because I believe that's Spanish. Alright. So, as you can read right here, it's telling me that I need to use the bushings and everything, but if you look correctly, right down here, this is 80 to 83, means the year, model, and everything of your vehicle, which years you're supposed to use this stuff for. 1980 to 83. This vehicle on the registration states 85, so the car's a 1985. But if you look in the door, it's a 1984. So if you flip it around, and right here's, you look right there, 1984. So you're going to be reusing the whole thing that I just transferred, except for the nut. So we're going to be reusing the everything else, the washer, the damper, and everything except for the nut. So take the nut out of the package. Put that puppy right there. Tighten her down. Now I am going to tell you, it doesn't matter, you know, which way these are directed, because it's kind of hard to show you guys. But this whole strut, this right here, turns opposite to this, so you can actually turn it and turn it. That way, this part right here, that down here in the bottom of my hand, lines up with this hole right here. So really and truly, once you tighten this down, this right here, you can actually turn this so it meets the right correction up there. So let's go ahead and put the new strut in. We'll tighten that nut down as soon as we get everything bolted in, put in, just like that. Now come around here, should go right there, just like so. I'm gonna go up top, tighten those up and everything. Then we're going to jack this up, line it up with the hole, put the nut and bolt through, tighten it down, we should be done. Okay, so I went ahead and took both of my hands, because you can't record and do everything at the same time. Put the nuts back on, they're turned on there just by hand, then tighten this down. You do want these tight as you can get them. You don't want them coming back off. That'd be the worst thing. Alright, take this. Tighten that as tight as you can get it. We're going to retighten that as soon as I go down there underneath the car. Slide that bolt through and tighten that down. Then we're going to come back up there and snug everything up, make sure everything's tight, and then we're done. Alright guys, you see what I'm talking about. Like I said, basically everything's tightened up there. Take your hand, turn the strut. It is extended all the way. You're going to take your jack it up till the holes just about line up. You do just some anti-seize, put that on that bolt, we'll go from there. Okay, so basically this is how you're going to do it. Put it back on. Put your ratchet there, wrench there, take your ratchet, tighten it. You're going to go this way on the opposite side, and this way you're going to go down. Okay, so basically you just want to get it tight. Make sure your wrench doesn't slip off. You'll bust a knuckle and it'll really, really hurt. Tighten it a little bit more. Everything's tightened down, snug. Double check it just to make sure. Like I said, guys, you don't want this coming back off. Alright, everything's tightened down. Everything's done. Alright, so everything's done, everything's tight. You can go ahead and put the dummy cover, dust cover back on. Just like that. One other thing, just in case your vehicle doesn't have it. If it does, then you'll need to be putting the... Okay, get that back on. Take the little clip. Pop that back in. Everything's done. Put the carpet back. Everything back like it was. Customer's vehicle. Everything's done. I'd go from here. Set the vehicle down. Put the rims and tires back on and set it down. Balance it a couple times. Make sure it's good. And one way you want to check. Last thing before I end this video. One thing you want to check is, when you're wanting to check for shocks, go to the rear of the vehicle, push down on it a couple times. If it bounces and stops, your shocks are good. If it bounces and keeps bouncing a little bit and then kind of does like a little thing and then it stops, or something close to that, then you've got bad shocks. So go ahead and replace them. But it is kind of hard to tell if they're bad because you have a coil spring on the older models vehicles. So, alright guys, so if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Try my best to do the best I can about these videos. If you have any questions or comment, leave them in the bottom. I'll try my best to get to them. If you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button. I'm already at almost 200 subscribers. Keep on going, guys. Got to get up there. Like I said, it's basically how to change shocks, struts, whatever, on your rear of your vehicle. This specifically is on a 1985 Chevrolet Celebrity. Thanks for watching. Have a great night wherever you are. Stay tuned for more. Thanks.